We are going to be revealing the 5 secrets that small businesses often do not know about social media. And if they do, they don't know how it applies to them.
So welcome. I'm Tracy Warren with Ready, Set, Grow Marketing. I'm a social media superhero to get you seen and heard online.
And I'm Melanie DePoli, brand catalyst of Omicle. I help brands build brands worthy of going viral. My Twitter handle is @MelDePoli. Tracy's is @ReadySetGrow, and we have a special hashtag that we would like you to use in reference to today's event. It is #SBImpact.
Pretty easy to remember, right?
I think so.
SB Impact.
I think so.
So how many of you...
Wait, we should tell them something first.
What should we tell them first?
That we don't always agree.
Oh, shoot. Wait, would you quit interrupting me?
I can't help it. They need to know this.
You do need to know.
If they see that we disagree, they might think that we don't know what we're talking about or something. But we're coming at social media from different perspectives. So we do want to tell you that up front. We may not always agree, but it is to your advantage. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and there's more than one way to do social media. What works for social media for you may not work for us, and vice versa. So take the different advice, the differing of opinions that we have, and apply them to your business as it's relevant to you.
Because what works for you may not work for me or for Mel. So, yeah, it's a great opportunity, honestly.
So when was the last time that social media made you feel like you were going to put your fist through the screen, or...
Ooh, that's like 3D Google Hangouts.
No, that's great. Or you want to pick up your laptop or your tablet and throw it out the window because it's so frustrating.
Oh my gosh. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten phone calls from people saying, I've been working on this for 30 minutes and I can't find how to do X, Y, or Z. Or what's worse is for us, because we're speakers, this is the worst. When you go and you're presenting and you go to show someone where something is and it's moved.
Oh, yeah. And my favorite is when I get a call from clients and they say, I broke my social media profile.
That definitely happens. And you know, the truth of the matter is a lot of people look at social media as something that's overly complicated and super hard. And our goal for today is to ease that a little bit for you, to make it a little more easy, because it doesn't have to be really hard to be effective. And ultimately, we want to start the process of showing you how to increase your revenue, your profitability using social. It is possible.
Really? Are we going to tell them how?
We might. We might tell you how. So hopefully you've never felt like punching your fist through the screen, but I imagine there might be times that you have.
So in the next hour, we plan to share 5 secrets with you. And like I said earlier, these 5 secrets are tailored around secrets to having social media success. What we've found in working with clients is that businesses either don't know these secrets, or if they do, they don't understand how to apply them. And when you apply them, that is actually how you get results with social media. But a quick thought on results. What are results?
Oh, that's a really good question.
And we'll be...
Wait, results isn't he with the most likes wins?
Connection collectors? Nope. Not at all.
Not at all.
We'll get to that.
So here's another thing, another secret we want to share with you. We know who you are.
Yes,
and we're watching. Wow. Anyway, we know who you are. We know who's watching this webinar. And as a result, we might watch what you do on social media after this. If I know Tom is here, I know that you know how to use hashtags on Twitter. I expect to see a Twitter later with hashtag SBImpact. Anyway, a Twitter?
That's what you just said.
I'm sorry, a tweet. Oh my goodness gracious.
Even social media experts mess up the language occasionally.
Oh my goodness gracious. So we're going to be watching. But not from the point like we're waiting for you to make a mistake and we're going to pounce. But we really are going to give you some practical tips that you can put into practice right away, because ultimately we really do want to help you be better at social media.
We want to invite you to engage with us. Start a conversation, and using that hashtag SBImpact, is how we can track that conversation.
Wait, what is this engage that you speak of?
It's this revolutionary thing, like when you're sitting with somebody and you're talking, you don't just sit there and go like retweet.
That would be weird, right?
Totally weird.
If I could pull that off with a straight face, I would really love to try to do that the next time I'm having a in-person conversation. But
we might have to practice that, and eventually it'll...
Oh my gosh. We could do that on the next Google Hangout. That would be funny.
Content, share, oh my. Yes. Content is the driving force behind social media. A lot like the yellow brick road. However, just because content is what drives social media, that doesn't mean that you have to be a lean, mean content creating machine.
Ooh.
You like
I
that?
like that a lot.
I like that.
Yeah.
Social media, because it is content driven, there is so much content out there that you can leverage it. You can monitor what's going on out there and do this thing called listening.
Wait, is there a secret here?
We're getting there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I was leaning them in, because it's a secret.
Okay, it's a secret.
We're going to tell them, but they shouldn't tell anybody else.
And it won't be a secret anymore. Gossips.
So here's the secret. Are you ready? Searching and listening online will tell you just as much, even more, than actively creating and sharing and pushing your own content.
So there's a reason this is the first secret we're talking about. So many people see social media as simply broadcast platforms. Like, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. And if you haven't heard, buy my stuff, and I'm having a sale on my stuff.
No way.
I know. It's remarkable. And when you use these tools to listen, it can give you great insight into what's happening in your industry right this moment. And it can keep you up to date with what's cutting edge and what's going on. So important. So, secret number 2. Are you ready?
I don't know if I'm ready.
You don't have to be online all the time.
No way. Since when?
Whoa. So it's amazing to me when I'm out and about how many people say, Tracy, you're everywhere. And I laugh and say, it's an illusion.
We're magicians.
We're magicians. I wish the Google Plus Hangouts had a magician's hat as a...
They do, but when you do the broadcast like we're doing it, you can't use the funky tools.
Oh, bummer.
So we can't use the mustache, and we can't use the magician's hat.
See, anyway, you don't have to be online all the time. In fact, when you are online all the time, like responding immediately every time people comment and do anything on your page, it sends a very odd message.
It sends the message that, they have a lot of time on their hands.
Do they have a client?
Do they actually get paid for what they do?
So you have to be aware. But part of this is about a shift. Shifting the way you think. Rarely does my day begin with sitting down at the computer going, what am I going to post today? It's more of a mindset, a thinking about the things that I do and say as I'm going around the day. I remember I had a conversation once with a gal who was a nutritionist, and she was giving me some tips about this vitamin being good for this and this being good for that over there. And then she said, but I don't know what to post on my social media profiles. And I said, you just gave me 2 great tips about vitamin C and vitamin B, for example. Those are great things to post on social media. Oh, like the conversations that we're having all the time with those little tidbits of information that are wedged into our brains because we can't forget them. That's all really great content to share on social media.
And going back to our first secret, where when you search online to find out what your competition and what your customers and the market are looking for, that also inspires you to identify what kind of content you should be creating and how you should be structuring your content. So remember, it's not always about you and you doing the push, 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 but it's a lot of listening.
That's a really good point. A lot of listening.
I was once told something about we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so something about we're supposed to be listening more than we're speaking. But as speakers, that doesn't really work.
Hard. We kind of like to talk.
No.
So, I know, shocker.
I know. Remember, use the hashtag @SBImpact, and tell us your aha moments and tweet us your questions. Third secret. This is one of my favorites. And we have this nice image of a guy using a megaphone and yelling at a woman. Social media is a tool. It is a communication tool, just the same as a telephone, as a letter, as sending a text message, or even sending an email, or even sitting here in person. How you talk to somebody through these different methods of communication, there's a certain etiquette of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. When you call somebody on the phone and they answer, you're not instantly going to be yelling at them. Hey Tracy, how are you today? She's going to back away like she just did.
Wow.
And when you send a text, you're not going to send 2 paragraphs worth of content. You're going to keep it short, simple, maybe around 140 characters. Where have I heard that before? Oh, wait! That's the limit on Twitter.
Where we Twitter?
I said that's the limit on Twitter.
I know.
Where we Twitter, yes.
Where we Twitter. No, we tweet there.
Yes, where we tweet. So there's certain etiquette for certain methods of communication. And once you learn the etiquette, it helps you structure everything that is going on in your head and everything that your business has built about content and about what the customers want and need to know. So it's about learning the etiquette and structuring your content to fit that etiquette.
You didn't give them secret number 3.
Oh, didn't I? Secret number 3, even though I told you all about it, is communicate with people with instead of talking at them.
And there's something else that's really important about this point is that it's important to talk with them where they are. And one of the things, we have this program we're going to tell you about in just a minute called Social Brilliance Impact. And one of the first things we talk about is knowing who your target market is. Because if you don't know who you're trying to talk to, it's really hard to try to talk to them on social media. And so talking to them where they are means that you might have to dip your toes in a number of platforms to figure out how they're going to respond to you. And then you can measure your results. There's that R word again. Results. Oh boy. And the other thing is you need to make it as easy as possible for them to engage with you. So there's a point to this.
Yes, there is.
Making it as easy as possible. So when you're asking them questions on their Facebook pages, or when you're asking a question on your Facebook page, make it easy for them to respond. If you ask them to tell you a story about something, they may not respond because it takes too long to think of the story and then how am I going to write it. But instead, if you say, tell us one word you would use to describe the fall, for example, people will, you're going to get a host of responses, but you're creating some conversation and some engagement.
The other element of engaging is, and conversing in social media, is this goes back to one of the basics of building your brand. When I work with companies, I advise them all the time, make it easy to do business with you. When your customers like doing business with you, they will do more business with you. And the same concept applies on social media. make it easy for your customers and for your prospects to engage with you online. When you are easy to reach out to, when you are easy to communicate with, they are more likely to do business with you because you will become their go-to resource for getting information about that particular topic.
It's amazing how often I see people on Facebook say, like my business page.
Ugh.
And no link to the business page, no name of the business page. I'm like, again, make it as easy as possible. And just another tip about it being easy, people have been conditioned to find your social profiles on your website. And that is not buried on page 5 at the bottom of the page. It should be front and center. Well, not center. That would be ridiculous. But somewhere close to the top so that they don't have to scroll down. They're looking for you there. Make it easy to find you.
This goes back to another point. Don't make the assumption that your customers and the market already know something. You're an expert in your field. You know everything about it. And maybe not everything, but you know a great deal, which is why you're in the business you're in. By you making the assumption that your customers know more than what they do, you could actually be alienating them because they don't know something. A lot of time, your prospects don't know what they don't know, and that is why your prospects become your customers. And by making it easy for your prospects to communicate with you, you're telling them it's okay to ask me questions. It's okay to not know something. That is why I am here to help you.
So a couple of the biggest questions we get when we're talking to our prospects is, or comments that they make is, social media takes more time and it doesn't work and it's so frustrating, it's so busy. And yes, it can be all of those things and it can take a lot of time. And that's why we've created Social Brilliance Impact, which is a program that we're starting actually on Monday. I love that people are already tweeting to us and somebody misspelled something. Fantastic. Thank you for that. But Social Brilliance Impact is all about helping you build your credibility online, doing more in less time, teaching you how to use that content that you have, whether it's on paper or in your brain. Oh my gosh, you have so much expertise in your brain. It's staggering.
Yes, it is.
And really helping you activate your audience. And so we're starting this program on Monday. Gosh, is it Monday already that we're starting?
Yes.
It's a 5-week program, online benefits, some webinars every week, where we're going to go through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I'm sure we'll drip in some other stuff about Pinterest and Instagram and things like that, but there's going to be an online Facebook group, just ways for you to have access to us to help you with your social profiles. And it's a 5-week program, and it's just $247, which if you put into practice what we teach you, you should be able to earn that back within the first month. I mean, that's one client for most of you.
So by the way, Tracy just said the URL is socialbrillianceimpact.com. I am going to share with you, when she gives me my mouse back, a special discount that I have created just for you.
Just for you?
Just for you.
Aww.
It is a discount. I didn't tell Tracy I was doing this. So, but the discount will be available. Social Brilliance Impact usually goes for $249 for a 5-week course. $247, sorry. It's even cheaper than what I just said. But using this discount, you can get the access to the same 5-week course for $147. $197. I'm awful with numbers today.
Okay, so let's get back to our next secret. So how many of you, by a show of hands, I'm like raising my hand high already because I know the question I'm about to ask you, is how many of you are a marketing department of one? Yes.
Or you have a marketing department of one.
Or you have a marketing department of one. Many of the people that we're working with are people who are wearing chief bottle washer and janitor, or whatever they say,
as well as CFO and CEO of their own company.
That's right. Well, secret number 4 is, in order to get results quickly on social media, you will want to build a tribe.
Can I interrupt for a second here?
Of course.
You mentioned this word quickly that I know we both hear all the time.
Thank you.
Quickly.
How about more quickly should be what I said, but go ahead.
Well, regardless of if we use more quickly or quickly, a lot of times I have a prospect that I'm engaging with right now, and they want social media results right now. They have next to no social media presence whatsoever, but they want to drive results right now. And you have this great analogy that I've magically stolen. And
Rob and duplicate, baby.
But I give credit.
Thank
Tracy
you.
came up with this. And it is that social media is more like a crock pot. If you want results, it's about putting the ingredients in. It's about identifying who you are online and engaging in those conversations. It's about inviting people to engage with you. And over time, you build the credibility. Results are not going to happen online. We've been conditioned and inundated with lots of talking at and advertisements over such a long period of time that by default, we have a wall up. And we don't let anything penetrate that wall. The way to penetrate that wall is to build relationships and to build trust. The traditional elements in growing your brand and building your business, of getting your customers and the market to like you and to trust you, apply online. If you want to build a tribe, if you want to create results on social media, you need to build a tribe. And the way to do that is to build relationships.
Relationships.
Yes, that means you actually have to talk to people.
You actually have to talk to people. I recently saw this article floating around hashtags. Oh my gosh, floating around Facebook last week, and it was like, don't call me, and here's why. And I thought, wait, I don't understand. Isn't that what we do? Twibe? Really? Thank you,
Howard.
Tom is his real name. Anyway, yes, a twibe. Build a twibe. But really, so let me give you an example of how a tribe can be of benefit to you. So say you're having a big event. Well, when you're having a big event, what are you doing? You're getting ready for the event. You are handling all the details of the event and dragging things to the event and food and blah, blah, blah. You're handling details. You are likely not sitting on Facebook all day watching for details.
Wait, that goes back to our point of you don't have to be online all the time.
So here's an example of where building a tribe can really help you. So you're having this event. We have been conditioned almost, or we're conditioning ourselves, that we don't pick up the phone anymore. If we have a question, we're going to go to someone's business page to ask the question. So when you have a tribe and you're having a big event, for example, and somebody goes to your page and they say, hey, I can't find the address for tonight, someone in your tribe who's a raving fan of yours, who likes you already, knows, likes, and trusts you, they can go in and answer, oh, the event is at such and such a location tonight. And it makes you seem like you're online all the time because you've equipped your tribe with information so that they can answer those questions.
Are we moving on to the 5th secret?
Oh my gosh, if we must. The 5th secret is like Mel's, she's a little crazy about this one.
It's my favorite.
It's her favorite.
I admit, it's my favorite. Okay, it's about hashtags. You can have I've noticed that businesses and individuals tend to have a love or hate relationship when it comes to hashtags.
That's true.
And I'm right there. There's an element of hashtags, which we'll get into, that I hate, despise. Don't you dare ever use these hashtags. However, we're not going to start with that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, we'll come back to that in a moment.
Can you just tell them the secret?
Okay. When used correctly, Hashtags make finding the needle in the haystack super simple, super easy, and super effective. Super.
We don't like each other at all.
No.
Just in case you were wondering.
Think of using hashtags as your secret weapon. Or if we go back to the magician analogy, it's your secret tool for performing magic. It is a metal detector that has a magnet on it. So when you're using this metal detector with a magnet, the needle comes to you, directly to you. It doesn't go to anybody else, although everybody has this trick, so therefore everybody has access to the same information. But by using this secret weapon, you are given the opportunity to find specific information related to your service, to your product, and to what your market is interested in. It helps you spy on your competition and just find out and listen. Going back to the very first secret, the biggest asset of social media is the ability to listen without anybody knowing that you're listening. Customers today are more sophisticated. They're not smarter, they're more sophisticated. There's a big difference between the two. And they're more sophisticated because they have access to tools and knowledge that 20 years ago, individuals did not have access to. So using hashtags, an example that I use is, Tracy mentioned that we're both speakers. When I'm looking for speaking gigs on Twitter, I can do a search for speaking. And then in another browser window, what I will do is I will use the exact same search using hashtag speaking. And the results are much more targeted, they're more specific, and they are a part of a conversation that I am more likely to engage in. It helps you find the needle in the haystack. It helps you find that information that otherwise you thought was unable to be found.
So a question just came up, and I know that you and I, we've kind of played with this, but Tom is asking about how many hashtags is too many?
Oh, yes.
And I love what you say about this.
My recommendation is anything more than 3 hashtags in a post is hashtag soup. The exception to this is on Instagram. Instagram, for whatever reason, loves hashtag soup. The more hashtags you can add to a photo, the better off you are.
So, speaking of that,
yes,
because hashtag soup is encouraged on Instagram, it's not encouraged on Facebook.
No, it is not.
If you're hashtag souping on Instagram, please, we beg, please.
Yes, please.
We're begging.
Please
Don't share your Instagram post to Facebook if you're doing hashtag soup.
It is guaranteed that you will be unfollowed and unliked on Facebook if you do that. This goes back to the secret earlier of understanding the etiquette of each particular tool. And this is where broadcasting your message across all platforms at the exact same time gets you into trouble. What works on Instagram does not work on Facebook. What works on Facebook does not work on LinkedIn. What works on LinkedIn may or may not work on Twitter. But you have more flexibility on LinkedIn than you do on Twitter. So keep that in mind. And in our 5-week course, Social Brilliance Impact, we go into this in depth. The first week is specifically about how social media integrates with your existing marketing plan. And then after that,
Wait, what you just said?
Yes.
You mean I shouldn't drop all my marketing and just do social media?
No. No.
Interesting.
Bad.
Ow.
You don't do that.
It should be an integrated part. Okay, so keep talking about social brilliance. I interrupted you.
Okay.
Of course I did.
So after the first week and we talk about the strategy behind social media, we then take a deep dive into each of the tools. We'll do a deep dive into Facebook, into Twitter, into LinkedIn, and into YouTube, and how you can better incorporate those tools understand the etiquette and understand the technology behind the tools to produce social media results for you, make social media easy, and to build your tribe. Or as Tom is calling it, a twibe.
So speaking of twibe, because now I want to turn that into a hashtag, but let's not, because I know
because we're using hashtag
SB Impact. This is one of those things that we both feel very strongly about. The hashtag piece, they should be useful, valuable hashtags that are around your topic. So yes, Mel and I are going to be talking about hashtag SB Impact, but in the process, we might also talk about hashtag small business, hashtag branding, because they go together. But hashtags for the sake of a hashtag are not good when you're trying to build business relationships.
Ooh, this is where I get to talk about what they're not allowed to do?
Yes.
Okay. So, I was having a conversation with a friend who's building her business and was frustrated beyond anything about Twitter in particular and the use of hashtags and how they're abused. And I completely agree. As you are developing your social media profiles and your presence
as a business,
be specific about your intentions. If your intention is to be online to grow your business, then I do not ever want to see you using hashtags like hashtag selfie no makeup or hashtag I'm bored. I don't care. It's completely irrelevant to your business. The hashtags you're using invite you and make you a part of a specific online conversation that can build offline sales. Social media is the same thing as offline. What you do offline is what you do online. If you wouldn't want your mother, your grandmother, or anybody else that's important to you to see what you're sharing, then don't post it. And always have your brand in mind when you make that post.
So Pete just asked, are keywords hashtags or vice versa? And yes, as a general rule, your hashtags are going to be keywords that people are going to use to search for you. If you don't know what they are, do some searches around it, and that will help you determine what other people are using. And don't try to create. You ride a hashtag. You don't try to start a wave. I mean, that as a general rule, like if your name is Bob, it's not hashtag Bob Buzz. Right? Nobody's talking about Bob Buzz except for Bob.
Although we do promote him a good bit, so
we do.
Might want to.
Whoever Bob is, you owe us. But anyway, and then just another question from Tom about setting up your Facebook post to Twitter. Now, I imagine this is one of those areas where Mel and I might disagree. So, if you actively use Twitter, I do not recommend setting up your Facebook post to automatically post to Twitter. There's a reason. If you go to Twitter, it's obvious whose stuff is coming directly from Facebook. They are not creating any engagement on Twitter. They're just broadcasting. Now, for those people who have no intention of using Twitter on a daily basis, then this is one of those like, okay, it's okay to share your post to Twitter, but I don't do it. I don't do that for any of my clients. So it's not something I recommend. I also know that not everybody has time to be on Twitter every day.
For me, yes, we disagree, but at the same time we agree, but from a different angle. I do have my Facebook business page synced with my Twitter account. However, Facebook is not my primary form of marketing. So a lot of times what I'm doing is I am sharing an article from somebody else's business page that it is relevant to go out to Twitter. I do the majority of my marketing through LinkedIn, through Twitter, and through YouTube. So I use my Facebook business page more as a community profile or a scrapbook, if you would like. I share all my business photos there. I make sure all of my events are there. And all of this information is elsewhere, but I use Facebook more from a community perspective than from a driving business perspective. So it's not necessarily is it right or is it wrong, it goes back to what we talked about earlier. What are your specific goals with social media? We mentioned earlier the whole, do you want to drive likes? Do you want to drive clicks? Do you want to drive retweets? What are your ultimate marketing goals? If, for example, if you're a fashion company and you want to launch a new line of clothing, but you don't want to invest in having the clothing made and put it on display, you want to know if your community is interested in this fashion line. You'll create the photos and you'll share them on your social media platform, usually Facebook, sometimes Twitter, and you'll ask for feedback. Would you buy this if we create it? Maybe not that wording, but you get the idea. And in doing that, that is when likes matter. If you get to a certain number of likes, that could be what you need to go to production or initial production. And then from there, Beta Brand does a great job of this. Once they get to a certain level, they will then have an online campaign on their website where you can buy the product for a discounted rate to help fund them turning this into a regular product.
Well, and sometimes this can be effective, that whole engagement piece. Maybe you're not sure if you're going to do a workshop, and maybe you're not sure what to call it. Maybe you can say, hey, I'm thinking this title or this title. What do you think? And people love to share their opinions. And so use that tribe that you're creating online, use them to help you create something new. And there used to be a company called, and there may still be, I just haven't kept up with them, called Squishables, and they sold big, huge stuffed animals. Well, when they were going to launch a new product, they would make a prototype, like a penguin with a purple bow or a pink bow.
I'm all about purple.
I know you are. And we would put them side by side, or I'm sorry, Squishables would put them side by side and say, hey, we're going to create this penguin. Which do you like better, pink or purple? And they would get hundreds of people chiming in, and then they would know, okay, more people said purple, we're going to do the purple one.
Speaking of purple, there is a purple store in Seattle, and what they will often do is, yes, there is, and I love it. I love it. Do. I love them.
You can't see, but her hair is purple, just so you know.
Anyway, what they will do when they are going to launch a new product, let's say they're going to carry women's shoes, they will post 2 photos of different shoes, and they will say, which one do you like better? They may end up carrying both based on the feedback, but they're going to specifically ask what their audience is interested in carrying. Another way that they leverage their Facebook profile is in the one conversation that went super huge and big was they posted pictures of purses. And they asked, is this a purse? Is this a clutch? What do you call this?
Oh my goodness.
Is it a bag? How do you classify this so we can market it correctly?
It's a merce.
Yes.
A man purse.
Yes. And the conversations were hysterical. They went on what seemed like forever, and almost every comment contradicted the one right before it. It was hysterical. And I'm sure they sat there and laughed at it all day long, but at the same time, it allowed their audience to engage with them, and it helps them tailor their marketing to their audience.
Have we beat this hashtag thing to a pulp?
No, we haven't.
We haven't, because I know we started answering questions and things like that.
So Pete asked the question about keyword being hashtags, and I would like to address one other element where a hashtag, while yes it can be a keyword, Twitter has this wonderful hatred for 140 characters. Mm-hmm. And depending on what you're saying, the full hashtag may not fit.
Oh, I know what you're about to say, and yes. It's a good point.
So if I'm engaging with meeting planners online for my branding speaking business, what I will do is I won't just follow event planning. But there's also another hashtag called hashtag eventprof. And this gives me just a few more characters if I need it. So sometimes hashtags get modified and shortened to fit the content that you're sharing. Social media is another great one. You can do hashtag social media with no spaces and punctuation no spaces or punctuation are allowed in hashtags. But hashtag so me is also perfectly acceptable for hashtags. So keep that in mind and spend some time just doing some research and understanding what the hashtags are. Maybe make yourself a list that you can reference, and using tools like Hootsuite, which is my personal favorite, you can then follow these different hashtags and participate in those different conversations.
Absolutely. So if there aren't any other questions, we're going to get ready to wrap up here, but thank you for being here. And just a reminder, we do have this Social Brilliance Impact that we're getting ready to start on Monday. We're so excited. You should be excited. Pocketbook.
Oh, pocketbook.
Oh my gosh. You
Instead
guys.
Of purses.
Instead of purse. Oh, and Pete's an East Coaster, so that makes a pocketbook. Anyway, you should be happy to know Social Brilliance Impact used to be 10 weeks, 12 weeks, and we just decided, like, we can pack it in because the content we're covering is easy to digest. And
we need to get you up and running. We need to do this quick so you can start your crock pot. You need to be able to push that start button, and in order to do that, you need the tools, you need them fast, and you need to know what it is you need to do.
Okay, so we have another question. One more question. I've been told to connect, not sell on social media. With this method of marketing, what's the best way to market without selling? Well, that's
this one?
Oh gosh, of course you want to start this one. Okay, I'm gonna sit on my hands while Mel starts this one. Go ahead, hurry up.
Connect, yes, but I would make the suggestion of rewording it to be communicate with. Yes, you'll develop a connection with people, but in order to develop that connection, you need to communicate with them. You need to respond to people and engage with them. Now, having said that, this opens up the whole randomly tagging people for no apparent reason. If you're going to tag somebody, my Twitter handle is @MelDepoli, and I've seen people do this. It drives me up a wall. This is an example of do not do this. It is a guarantee I will unfollow you and block you. They do a sales pitch link, and then they tag using your Twitter handle a bunch of people afterwards to get you to click on the link. Or
I never click on a link unless I know exactly what it is I'm clicking on.
Or they'll make some reference to, you've been featured in my newsletter. Well, unless you've contacted me to get the article, I know for a fact that's not true. You've instantly created distrust, and you've instantly earned yourself an unlike and a block.
So the words she just used, distrust. So when you think about social media, Bob Berg, in his book Endless Referrals, says that all things being equal, people will do business with those they know, like, and trust.
It's the kilt factor. Know, K, L, like, trust.
All right, it's the kilt factor. I thought he was talking about, anyway, so we're not going there. But that know, like, and trust. And the other thing you're doing when you're building your online profile is you are building your expertise, that you know what you're talking about. So know, like, and trust shortens the sales cycle so that they're going to get to know more about you. And when you're marketing in that way, you don't have to sell. When you're building community and when you're building a tribe, now, yes, from time to time, you're going to throw in some information. I imagine this on Mel's and my profiles. We've been talking about the social media intervention. Now, we're sharing about it. I hope it didn't seem like selling, because that's what we were inviting you to learn. And now we're telling you about Social Brilliance Impact, which that's a little bit of selling, but honestly, we want to share great information with you, and that's what we're doing, is we're building relationships, creating community, and building our reputation and online expertise.
And along the lines of selling on many levels is perceived as a 4-letter word, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Selling is about creating the opportunity to learn more. And Tracy mentioned earlier the shift in perspective. When you have that shift about your business, your tribe also has that shift. If for us it was only about selling you, we wouldn't be giving you these 5 secrets away for free. We do address every one of these secrets in Social Brilliance Impact. If for us it was only about selling, we would hoard the secrets and only reveal it to those in Social Brilliance. But we actually want to help you. I know, revolutionary concept, but we do. And that's why we're giving you the secrets away for free up front. Any other questions before we sign off?
Thank you so much for being here. It's actually, having you interacting with us has made it way more fun. And again, Mel shared the link, but if you go to meldepauly.com/SBImpact2, then you can get our special price of $197 for Social Brilliance Impact. If you have other questions, feel free to tweet us at Ready Set Grow or at Mel DePauly, and use the hashtag SBImpact, and we'll be watching online. So thanks so much for being here.
Oh, one more thing.
Wait.
Numbers.
Numbers.
We didn't talk about numbers. Numbers never lie, but they don't tell the whole truth.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. When you're looking at your social media data, when you're looking at the number of likes, the number of retweets, the number of shares, the number of views, we get caught up in the numbers. But what are the numbers really producing? It goes back to your ultimate marketing goals and your ultimate social media strategy. Remember that numbers never lie, but they don't tell the whole truth. Okay,
we'll leave you with that.
Yes. You can sign up to learn more at socialbrilliance.com, or you can click on our special discount link, meldepauly.com/SBImpact2, and remember to tweet out your aha moments using hashtag SBImpact. Have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.